Hello, welcome. I'm Peggy, and we have a busy half hour ahead, and I'm excited about the people that are here. And Bob Dill is here with me, and he is the founder and publisher of the Times-Examiner newspaper. And maybe you know about it, maybe you don't, but we're going to find out. We always have telephone numbers and information. And then a little bit later on, our Greenville Zoo is going to have an adventure because they are blossoming out with programs for people of all ages and especially for children, educational programs. And it's wonderful, and we want to share that with you. Right now, I want to introduce Bob Dill. Bob, good to have you here. And you are the founder and the publisher of the Times-Examiner. Now, this is not your regular newspaper.
It's a regular size, but
I know, but you bring
not regular content.
You bring some things to light that other newspapers do not. Here's the front page, in case you haven't seen it. It is available on newsstands?
Available on newsstands throughout Greenville County,
right.
And also by subscription by mail.
And right at the top, here is our Statue of Liberty, right there. And underneath it says, Independent Conservative Voice of the Palmetto State. So that says a lot right there. Now you have editorials in there?
We have...
by famous people?
We have, I think, the best group of conservative opinion writers of any newspaper in the nation. To start with, we could say Thomas Sowell. We could say Michelle Malkin, Pat Buchanan, Phyllis Schlafly,
yeah.
And on, Walter Williams.
And you carry some stories and some things that the other papers don't. So if you're somebody here in the upstate or surrounding in the southeast, that would have an interest for you.
We try to concentrate on issues. We don't do wrecks and fires, murders and rapes that sell newspapers. So, we're not in the business to sell newspapers. We're in this business to communicate with people and provide a wholesome family newspaper. And so we cover issues that a lot of the major media don't think is news. If they don't, I had a lady from the daily paper tell me one time, if we don't cover it, it's not news. So we cover stuff that a lot of the folks, and television, as you know, being in the media, television news doesn't have time to get into a lot of things. So we can go into depth and get involved in issues that are important, particularly important to families, and cover those things that the other newspapers and the television folks don't cover in their news.
So really, you don't. I would say you don't present violence.
No,
in your paper.
If, for example, gangs.
Yeah.
We don't dwell a lot on gangs, but that's a real problem. And from time to time, we'll do an article on gangs because people need to realize that there are like 30 or 40 gangs in the Greenville area, and as long as they don't kill anybody but each other, they aren't.
It isn't news.
It's not news.
Yeah.
They because most of them are killing each other. And taking their drug money from them.
But we want to. You think people, just everyday people, need to be aware of what's going on.
They need to be aware.
Under the surface, kind of.
And we got a lot of immigration problems that have an impact in Greenville, particularly with the school system. They're going to be having a lot of people coming in that probably going to have to hire new teachers because they're going to have to speak Spanish and English.
These children do not speak English. They have not had shots and medical treatment that I think you have to have before you can enter a public school. Your child has to have certain things. These children have not had that. So you're saying, are we going to have an outbreak of some kind of diseases that we haven't seen before?
It could happen, and the tragic thing or the unfortunate thing is that the schools. I talked to school officials. They don't know yet how many of these new students that may not have had their shots, may not have even registered to start school, are going to be starting this fall. And there are a lot of them in the country, but the schools don't know yet where they're going to end up. So I'm sure there's going to be a something close to a crisis in the education system come late August, early September, because the influx of new students in the from ages through high school, but most of them, I understand, are going to be elementary school type.
This is going to put a terrific burden on elementary school teachers.
Yes,
I would think.
Sure is, because they're going to have interpreters, and they're going to have teachers that teach that can speak Spanish, mostly Spanish, but they're coming from all over the world. Some of these folks are not from Central and South America.
But we haven't been told much about this in our local media.
That's right.
But your paper has agreed that you're going to try to present the story so people understand it.
We're printing as much information as we can get and verify and validate. And this week we published some numbers that are unofficial, but they've come from 2 or 3 sources, and we feel are valid.
So you do try to research and present that you have some proof before you put it on the
We do. And one of the things that we do, Peggy, is if we make a mistake, we print something that's in error. If it's on the front page, we acknowledge it and correct it on the front page, because we're not about spreading rumors or false information. We want to be factual in our report.
And there's a lot here in his paper about history, and particularly as it pertains to the area of the United States where we live. And the Times Examiner, and it is a weekly paper.
We're a weekly paper. We've been publishing for 21 years.
All right, now Bob, do people have to subscribe to this paper? How do you do? We have a phone number, which on the screen, 268-0576. Of course, that's 864. Yeah. They can subscribe for it have it every week, or you can pick it up on a newsstand. And you said something about somebody getting a free paper. What was that?
Yes, if they call that number, if they haven't seen the paper, not sure whether they're interested in a conservative newspaper or not, if they call that number 24 hours a day, there's an answering machine. If somebody doesn't answer, they can just leave a message, leave a name and address. We'd be happy to send them a free copy.
Okay.
And then they can subscribe if they think they'd like to. We also have a website that I don't think it's going to be on the screen.
We don't have it up.
But it's a free website, timesexaminer.com.
Okay, that's easy enough.
timesexaminer.com. And we also have subscriptions on the web. The same paper is on the web for about half the price of the printed version. Okay.
Well, Bob, we thank you. And we just wanted people to know, and if you've never read it or you've never seen it, you can call that number and get yourself a free copy, and find out that there's some of the editorials in this newspaper are excellent.
Thank you.
So, yeah, thank you, Bob. And how many years?
We've been publishing for 21 years.
21 years. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, so keep the good news coming, because he doesn't cover a lot of the violence and the stuff that we see 24/7. Now, we're going to go to a quick break and come back, and we're going to bring you some news about what our Greenville Zoo has on its website and its charts and all the things that we can enjoy as families. So don't go away.